What's it like rubbing elbows with the significant players, guys like Diesel and Bret Hart, Razor, and even Vince McMahon at this point of your career?
Yeah. Well, the truth of it was, and again, this is, I got in the business because of my family. I got no qualms in saying that. Kevin Nash was Brad's friend, so Kevin Nash was my friend. I'd already met Hunter in WCW. Now he's up there, so we're friends. X-Pac I had met now here for the first time. Actually, we're going to talk about that in a little while. But like Scott Hall knew Brad really well, and my brother Steve really well from Japan. So all these guys were kind of my friends. And so it wasn't like I was rubbing elbows with superstars. It was like I was playing wrestler with my friends. And anybody who's ever done any backyard stuff knows that's the best thing ever. You know what I mean? Yep. We just didn't do it on a trampoline in old man Kelsey's backyard. We did it at the Hartford Civic Center. You know what I mean? In front of 15,000 plus. But it wasn't rubbing elbows in my mind at the time. In retrospect, sure, I was rubbing elbows with some of the biggest stars in the company at the time, and getting to learn from them at the same time. So, yeah, very beneficial for me, and I had a blast.
All right, you're ringside for a bunch of Jarrett and Shawn Michaels versus Diesel and Razor matches in the lead up to WrestleMania, including in Toronto, Madison Square Garden, Boston, and San Antonio. Do you have any stories or memories that you can recall, either of being on the road with those guys or when at ringside during those matches?
Yeah, a little bit of both. Look, that's the match. If I'm talking about the most fun and creative I've ever felt or had in a wrestling match, those matches were some of them. Maybe the one, you know what I mean? Because not only where I get to play and we're playing wrestler with my friends, but we're doing it on a grand stage and we're doing it to pop each other and to have a good time. And so, look, that match was awesome. So we all said, hey, we should do this around the loop. And then they put it on around the loop. But so one time when we were first putting it together, and look, we perfected it over a period of time too. We had done it so many times, it was like, hey, that didn't work, this works, let's try this tomorrow night, whatever. So at one point, the heels, Jeff and Shawn, go out of the ring on one side of the ring. The baby faces are in the ring, facing down at them on the floor. Well, my job was to pop up and get the babyface's attention. When they start to come to me, I drop down off the apron, the heels slide in, bing, bang, boom, Bob's your uncle. So I go, hey, I'll just pop up on the apron there and I'll get y'all's attention. And they were like, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, don't worry about it. I'll get your attention. And at this time, I'm having fun, right? And so I thought, like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do over there on the apron to get their attention. So I don't know if you've ever seen Three Amigos, where they climb up on the fence, and then the last one is still down there, and they're going, look up here, look up here. And finally he goes, hey, look up here. So when I popped up on the apron, I did like the Moe and Curly shuffle, like kicking my foot backwards and screaming, look up here, look up here, look up here. So it was literally called the look up here spot. The look up here.
I like it.
Yeah, it was the look up here spot. And every night they would turn around and they would just shoot, pop, and then they would start walking at me and inside the heels, bang, double shoot, reverse. Here they go again. You know what I mean? It was just a really fun match and really fun guys to
having
be doing
fun
it
with your friends.
Yes, amen.
Was there anything specific you remember picking up and learning from them that you were able to then take through your career, whether that be advice, technique, and anything of the sort?
Yeah, 100%. And look, I'm sure I can't sit here and name them all, but lessons from Shawn Michaels and Scott Hall and Jeff Jarrett, for that matter, because they'd all had Kevin, they'd all had experience that I didn't have. And so just listening to them every night. But I think the main thing was probably an unwritten or unspoken rule is just be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. And if you're not, they're going to get in your butt. You know what I mean? Like, it was because that's why they were who they were. They were perfectionists, and we want to get this as close to perfect as we can, and then we want to take it around the loop, and it'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy. We'll know what to do and when to do it. So, yeah, we had a great time forming that match. Like I said, it evolved, and boy, by the end of it, it was smooth sailing and good pops in good places.
Amazing. As an outsider, the build, hype, and spectacle that is WrestleMania is what it's all about. 1-2-3 Kid comes out for the save, hits you with his lightning kicks. So you talked about you have a close friendship now. So you said it was about 6 months you'd been on the road and working with him?
Yeah. And look, we got along. We still get along the same exact way. Only it's over different stuff now. But we hung out a lot back in the day. And so when when he kicks you, it says lightning kicks. Like it's probably the equivalent of being struck by lightning, because he'll kick you and he'll kick you in your face if you don't do something about it. And look, if he kicks you in the face, it's not his fault, because he'll tell you that I'm throwing the spin kick. This spin kick is coming at you, and you can either put your hands up or you can wear your nose, as earrings, and so it's up to you. But yeah, his kicks are always in there. But look, that was what he was known for, and he would take on much bigger guys and be a formidable opponent for those guys because of those kicks, because of his high flying and devil may care kind of high risk maneuvers he would do, diving off the top rope to the floor and stuff. Like, he was just
that snap leg drop that he dropped was always
like
sick.
X-Pac just was stood out, man. Well, 1-2-3 Kid, I guess, at the time, but he stood out from day one, and that's why he made it in this industry. He was a little guy that went back in a day when little guys didn't make it, but he did because he was special.
In the go home for Mania, you, Jeff, and Bob Backlund are doing a 3-on-1 against Razor. Can you tell us any good Bob Backlund stories?
Every Bob Backlund story is a good one. Look, Bob was a great guy. Bob was in a generation before me, but here I was with him, and he was just as kind and polite to me as he was to everybody, and he always has been. So I don't. He's an eccentric guy, but eccentric in a way where he's like uber healthy. Like, is that eccentric, or is that just how we all should be? You know what I mean?
It's eccentric when he's at a hotel and runs like 14 miles to the place where he's going to go work out or something.
Yes, that's what he does. And while you look at that and you go, wait, you ran all the way over here? Like, you don't even need to work out now. You just ran a marathon. Like, that's just the kind of stuff he does that you think, like, oh my God, what's this guy doing? He's just in really great shape, and that's how he lives his life, So yeah, Bob Backlund's a great guy. I don't have any like funny stories or whatever. He was a hard worker and a great guy. And is he eccentric? And when he I feel like when he went to Mr. Backlund, he took it to another level, and I loved it. We just saw him at ECW Arena doing a signing not long ago, and Billy Gunn said something to him, and he hooked Billy in the chicken wing like right away, and it was like so funny. I was just dying laughing because he had big Billy Gunn selling all over the place.
Amazing.
It was like so funny. I was just dying laughing because he had big Billy Gunn selling all over the place.
Amazing.